Hey sis, are you there? I heard something was going on with you, but I'm glad that everything seems to have settled down now. I always knew that you were so nice, but I can't believe that you put yourself through all of that just for me. You really are too kind. Do you know that? Tracy, I really wasn't doing what I did for your sake, you know. I broke off my engagement with my fiancé because I caught you two having an affair with each other. Well, I know, but you were engaged to a CEO. You know that it's always been my dream to marry a rich man, right? I don't even know what to say to something like that. Is that supposed to be an excuse? Well, I've just always wanted to live like a spoiled princess, you know? I really don't know. What in the world does that even mean in this day and age? Besides, where did a dream like this even come from? It isn't like we were horribly poor or fantastically rich growing up. Well, I know, but that doesn't mean that I can't want to marry someone who is really rich, because if I did that, then I would never have to work another day in my life. And now I found that man after all this time. It really is like a real-life Cinderella story, isn't it? I don't remember the scene in Cinderella where one of the ugly sisters steals her prince away. Are you sure we were watching the same movie growing up? Oh, come on. You can't actually be mad at me for taking him for myself, right? Don't you know that all's fair in love and war? You've just got to get over this. You think this is something someone can just get over? This isn't a toy or something that you stole from me this time. We aren't kids anymore. You're right. We're adults, and I think that you're forgetting your place right now. I stole your fiancé from you, and that's a fact. You just need to accept the fact that you've been dumped for the better woman. You think I've been dumped? Please. I wouldn't have taken Jerome back if he came begging for me to take him back. I wonder if you have any idea just how pathetic and desperate you sound. I really don't care what you have to say about this anymore. I am through with the both of you. You really don't get it. You aren't the one calling the shots here. Jerome left you for me. Do you understand that? And it's because you weren't enough for him. He chose me over you because it's clear that I'm the better choice. And that's why we had an affair behind your back, because you couldn't make your fiancé happy and now he's left you. I really don't care how you try and frame it. It is true that Jerome cheated on me and that's why we're not getting married. But do you see me crying and moaning over losing him? Whatever, I just know that you've gotten better at hiding it now. But you've always been a little crybaby ever since we were little. Now who's the one trying to act all tough? We both know that you were the one who would resort to tears right away. You're just trying to project your feelings onto me, but it's not going to work. You think that I'm crying over getting your fiancé? As if. I think it's hilarious. I couldn't be happier about this. You have no idea how long it's been my dream to marry someone like a CEO and never have to work again. It's like my whole life has been leading to this moment. You really have no idea what you're talking about, do you? But whatever, what's done is done. Oh, come on! You can't just be taking it that easy. Can't you send me a message in all caps or shout at me over the phone or something at least? I'm not going to do that, but you should know that Jerome is not a CEO. What in the world are you talking about? Of course he's a CEO. He's the boss of the company that you work for, isn't that right? Actually, we have joint management of the company, if you must know. Hold on a second. What is that supposed to mean? How can you both manage the company? Well, I actually started the company with my startup capital. Jerome just snuck his way up the ranks using connections of his. The company is, however, all mine. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. What in the world are you talking about? I mean that when we first met while working for different companies, I had just established mine, and as it grew, Jerome showed interest in helping out. Then we started to talk about getting married. After I got pregnant, the board insisted that I have a co-manager in case anything happened to me, and they selected Jerome. So then, you two had the same job at the same time, but the company was really yours? But then, I don't get it. Are you telling me that you're also the CEO of a company? I would say I'm more CEO than Jerome. After all, it was my money that began the company. And I'd double check about Jerome still being a CEO since he would have been fired by now. Fired? What do you mean by that? I mean that once the board found out that Jerome was cheating on me, they asked him to step down and began a full investigation into him. It turns out that he was using company money to take you out for meals and on dates. So the board had more than enough evidence to fire Jerome right then and there. In fact, I believe all of this happened last week. last week. Are you sure? He hasn't told me anything about any of this. Well, you might want to go and try talking to him about some of this in that case. But then, doesn't this mean that Jerome isn't even a CEO and that I won't actually be marrying a really rich guy? That's what you're worried about? I tell you that Jerome was embezzling from the company, something he could go to jail for, and that's all you care about? You're just lucky the board already agreed not to press charges as long as Jerome pays the money back. Of course, we are prepared to press charges if that doesn't happen. But I was supposed to live life like a princess. I thought I had stolen your man away from you with my charm and good looks. But now you're telling me that the man I stole from you doesn't even have a job? Yeah, and I don't imagine he has much in the way of savings given how lavishly Jerome likes to live. But why didn't you say anything about this to me sooner? You should have warned me about him. Ugh, I never want to talk to you again. Are you really saying that to me? Oh, that message isn't showing up as read. Well, okay then. Have a nice life, sis.
Hey Mabel, are you there? What the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why the heck did you have to go and tell your sister that I wasn't the CEO of our company anymore, huh?
First of all, it isn't our company. It's always been my company. Second of all, don't be upset just because I told my sister the truth. Not only about your job, but also all about how you were fired. After all, it's not like I ever promised that I wouldn't tell her.
You little... Don't you realize what you've done? Now she doesn't want to marry me anymore. You've messed up my whole life with this.
Oh, so you mean you've managed to fumble marrying 2 women now? You've really got to work on that, Jerome.
You would like to think so, wouldn't you? But it shows what you know.
And just what is that even supposed to mean, huh?
I mean that I wanted to see how you would react. The truth is that I talked to your sister and smoothed things out. So we're still going to be getting married.
And just what kind of lies did you have to tell her to get her to go along with that?
I told her that the reason I chose to step down from my position as CEO of our company is so that I can do and start my own company. And I've already been preparing for this for a long time. After all, I was the one who took our company to where it is today. I know all about how to raise a successful company from the ground up now.
You're really going to start a company all by yourself?
What? Like it's hard? I'm going to start a company and it's going to grow far beyond what you could ever imagine. I'll dominate the industry and become untouchable.
Well, you might know how to found a company, but that doesn't mean that you're any good as a manager. And I don't think you've ever shown any promise there anyways.
Are you kidding me? You're just jealous because I left you and our company to go start my own with my new woman.
You can't actually think that I'm jealous of either you or my sister, right? You realize how stupid you sound, don't you?
Whatever. You're the one who doesn't know what you're talking about. Tracy and I are going to live happily ever after while your company just crumbles without me. Just stay out of my way and never try to interfere with my life again.
I really don't care what you and my sister choose to do with your lives, but you do realize that you need capital to start a business, right? Do you have that kind of money? Because I know that you still owe me for the legal fees from your affair.
You think a genius like me needs to waste my brain power on small details like that? I have big plans, and when I tell them to the bank, they're going to have to give me my loan. And I'll get the loan and start my company and have everything up and running in 6 months.
6 months, huh? You really think you can handle doing all that in such little time? Well, in that case, I want you to pay me what you owe me right now.
This is why you always used to get on my nerves. The second you saw that I was going anywhere in life, you would always find a way to try and hold me back. Why can't you just be more like your sister and let me do whatever I want without making little comments on it?
If you've got a problem with constructive criticism now, just wait until you're in a boardroom meeting. Besides, you knew that I was like this when we first started dating. Did you really expect me to change?
You know, I never even wanted to be engaged to you, but I knew that it was the only way to hold on to my position and my power. But then I met your sister, and I realized I didn't have to sell my soul to live like this. What your sister and I have is true love, and it's going to give us the success we need.
Well, I really do hate to stomp on your dreams, but let's just hope that it's true love that you two have.
Of course it is! We've tied together and nothing is ever going to come between us.
Well, good luck with that. I just hope that you two can stay together long enough to be married.
You'll see. We'll prove you wrong. We'll prove everyone wrong. And then you'll realize that you should have never underestimated me. Just now that I'm never going to work with your company again. So when I'm dominating the industry, you'll have to struggle just to keep the lights on.
Well, you have to have found your own company and get it off the ground first, so good luck with that. And do hurry up and send me the money that you owe me, okay?
Oh, you'll just have to wait for that. But don't worry. Once I have all my success, I'll be sure to pay you back that money with interest. And then you'll realize that that's only a taste of the wealth I'll have. Then you'll see how wrong you were about me.
Hey there, Mabel. I just thought you should know Jerome and I moved in together. At first, I was worried about all the things you were telling me about him, like how he wasn't a real CEO or how he embezzled from the company. But then he finally started his own company, and now we've moved into an amazing condo, and we're the happiest that we've ever been. It's amazing. You moved into a condo together with Jerome? Because I haven't even heard anything about him creating a new company. Well, I suppose that's probably because Jerome just runs in different circles from you, doesn't he? This is where we're going to move into. He told me that he already paid for the condo and that they're just getting it ready for us. Oh, wait a second. I think I recognize that view. Isn't that Mammoth Towers? You mean even you've heard of this amazing luxury condo building? Yeah, I have, actually. Do you know what room you're going to be living in? And just why would I share that with you? Don't tell me that you're going to try to break in and try to steal Jerome away from me. Because you should know that the building has guards in it and someone like you won't be allowed in. Right. Well, in that case, I guess you shouldn't worry about telling me the room number. Whatever. If you must know, the room number is 2305. So you're on the 23rd floor then? That's right. We're almost at the very top of the building. I've never gotten to stay in a place so nice. We're finally going to have our happily ever after. Well, it's just kind of funny because that's my unit. Wait, what? What in the world are you talking about? Do you really think I'm going to buy a lie like that? You have to come up with something better. I'm not kidding you at all. I own unit number 2305 in Mammoth Towers. Oh, just stop it already. Jerome sent me that photo from his phone. He was inside the unit and everything. There's no way that you own the building that we're about to move into. That doesn't make any sense at all. Well, yes, I'll say the interior does look like it's changed a lot. Although you should know that I got that unit because we bought it from Jerome's parents. But the building was under his dad's name for a while. Well, now you're not making any sense at all. How can it be your unit if it's under Jerome's dad's name? Okay, I guess I'll have to explain the whole thing then. So, that building was finished about a year ago. Around then, Jerome's dad thought to invest in the building company, thinking he would see some big returns. He bought a unit hoping to make a quick buck flipping it, but he wasn't able to pay for the whole thing. So then he came to me and asked me to buy it. So then you're telling me that you bought this unit from Jerome's dad who couldn't afford to get one himself? Pretty much, yeah. But now that I look at this photo, I can see that this is from when Jerome's dad still took care of the place. And that's why it's so different from how I have the unit looking now. But this can't be right. I mean, Jerome said that he and I would be moving in there. I already have my bags packed and everything. Well, I don't know what to tell you except that it's not Jerome's place to choose what to do with it. How could you do this to us? What's the matter with you? I didn't do anything. In fact, you were the one who said that you never wanted to talk to me again. So how is this all coming back onto me? Because we're supposed to go and live in that big condo building. We were supposed to have our happily ever after there. Why do you always have to ruin things for me, Mabel? You're the worst sister ever. Look, I know this is probably a lot for you to take right now, but you can't blame this on me. But it's not just now. You've always stolen everything I wanted from me, even when we were little. I didn't steal anything from you. In fact, you would always take from me. Whenever I tried to get it back, you would instantly start crying to get Mom and Dad on your side. But it's not fair. I want to live in that big condo. It should be all mine. Well, it was never yours nor Jerome's to begin with. A while ago, Jerome's dad needed money right away and offered to sell me the condo for the price he had put into it. I bought it and have been living there for a while. That's how I know that the interior looks different now. I don't know why Jerome thinks you two are moving in, but it's just not going to happen. If anything, I think that this is just one small part of a much larger lie that he's telling you. But this really isn't my problem anymore. Please don't bother me with stuff like this ever again. It turns out that when it was time to move, Jerome ended up taking my sister to go and move in with his parents. Apparently, they were in serious debt, and this was part of the plan to use Jerome and Tracy to pay off their debts. Tracy was messaging me, begging to help get her out of there, but I just read her texts and then blocked her number. She tried living with them for a couple of months, just hoping that this was all part of Jerome's plan to start his own company. Of course, he had never really even begun the process and was lying to Tracy this whole time about his intentions. I heard later from my parents that they ended up bailing out Tracy and rescuing her from her in-laws' house. Now, both my mom and dad are keeping a very close eye on Tracy and making sure she finds a job and learns some responsibility. As for me, life went on as normal. Nothing Jerome or Tracy did really ever had a chance to affect me. I told my parents that I wouldn't be doing anything to support my sister, and they understood and agreed with me.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
How long do you plan to be unemployed? Think about Mom and Dad's feelings for once.
What?
I can't believe you're still pretending nothing's wrong.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
Living off our parents at your age? Not working, just leeching off them. It's unbelievable. Aren't you ashamed?
Oh, wait a minute, May. What are you talking about? What do you mean, unemployed?
Don't play dumb with me. I know everything.
Clearly you think you know something, but I have no idea what you're referring to.
Mom told me recently you quit your job, right? And you've been shut in at home without working for 6 months.
What? I quit my job?
Stop acting innocent. This is serious.
I'm not acting. I genuinely don't understand where this is coming from.
You haven't left the house in months. Everyone in the neighborhood is talking about it.
Since when do you care what the neighbors think? You don't even live here.
And I heard you're even asking Mom and Dad for pocket money. It brings tears to my eyes. How can you act so casual while being a burden on our parents at your age?
May, you're misunderstanding. I haven't quit my job, and I'm not unemployed. I've never asked Mom and Dad for pocket money either.
Then why are you always asking them for money? Mom showed me the messages.
I'm telling you that you've got it all wrong.
Stop lying. Mom told me everything. She called me crying, saying, I can't take living with your sister anymore. She called me in tears.
Why didn't you ask about this sooner if you were so concerned?
I was giving you time to fix things yourself.
Time to fix what exactly?
Because I thought you'd get your act together, but it's already been 6 months.
Have you considered that Mom might not be telling you the whole story?
How dare you? Are you calling Mom a liar?
I'm saying there might be more to this than you know.
Don't you dare suggest Mom is lying. She's never lied to me.
There's a lot about our family you don't know, May.
What's that supposed to mean?
You've always only heard one side of things.
What other side could there be? You're unemployed and mooching.
Nothing. Never mind.
No, explain what you meant by that.
It wouldn't make any difference. You've already decided what to believe.
Listen, this is your final warning. If you plan to keep mooching off Mom and Dad, I have my own plans. I won't let you do as you please. I'll protect our parents.
I haven't done anything wrong, so what exactly are you planning to do?
Instead of talking back, go find a job. Stop being a burden on our parents when you're in your 30s.
What's going on, Mom? Why did you tell May I was unemployed?
I didn't lie. You being unemployed is a fact. You stay at home all day without going to work. How can you call that being employed?
We've been over this multiple times.
All I see is you sitting at home all day.
I told you this is remote work, remember? I can work from home using my PC. I'm working in my room from morning to night.
That's just an excuse to stay in your room all day.
I've shown you my work schedule.
And remote work? Oh, that's not real work.
It's exactly the same as working in an office. I just do it from home.
No one works from home. That's not how jobs work.
Many companies are working this way now.
There you go, making up stories again. How dare you deceive your parents with such nonsense? You were actually laid off, weren't you? We know the truth now.
What? Me? Laid off?
Yes, that's right. You weren't doing remote work. You were fired. I heard from the neighbors there were mass layoffs at your company 6 months ago. That's exactly when you started staying at home all day.
That's not what happened at all.
It's too much of a coincidence.
So you think I'm lying to hide being fired?
Come on, Sarah, tell us the truth. You're not doing remote work. You were laid off and are unemployed, right?
Mom, this is all a misunderstanding. Yes, there were mass layoffs, but that was in a different department. No one in my department left.
A different department?
Yes, actually, it led to a review of our work style. That's why remote work was introduced at the same time.
More lies. Just admit you were fired.
I wasn't fired. I can show you my pay stubs.
Then why do you keep taking money from us every month? It's because you're unemployed and have no money, right? No matter how many lies you tell, we won't be fooled anymore.
Please stop saying I'm taking money. I'm just collecting the money you borrowed from me, right?
Huh?
Should I list out all the times you borrowed money from me?
What? Taking back borrowed money?
Because you won't return it by the deadline. Since I'm home all day, I've noticed you often skip your part-time work, and Dad makes wasteful purchases despite living on early retirement pension. So, I'm just being strict about collecting what's owed. I'm even being lenient by only asking for $300 a month in repayment.
What? Oh, don't they say money lent is money given? We're family, so you shouldn't need repayment.
That's not how loans work, even in families.
But we're your parents.
What?
You're so heartless after everything we've done for you.
What exactly have you done for me?
How dare you say that?
I'm genuinely asking.
We raised you, fed you, and sent you to college. And suddenly you're demanding payments? It must be because you're unemployed and worried about money. That's why you're trying to extort money from your parents.
You're being completely unreasonable and making up stories about me demanding pocket money to tell May. Stop playing the victim.
Oh, shut up. Stop trying to extort money from your parents and go find a job. What do you think we sent you to college for?
Mom.
You have always been useless at everything except studying. We thought sending you to a good college would pay off if you got a good job, but in the end, you got laid off and became a parasite on your parents. We shouldn't have listened to your begging and sent you to college.
I'm grateful you let me go to college despite opposing it. That's why I stayed living at home after getting a job and contributed quite a bit to living expenses, right? I even gave you two my entire bonus, didn't I? So why are you saying such horrible things?
Because that is just what you're supposed to do. Don't act like you did us some big favor.
What?
A good daughter would give everything to her parents without expecting anything back. And now you're nagging about repaying loans. You're unemployed despite going to college. I'm so disappointed in how useless you are. We should have kicked you out long ago. We shouldn't have let you stay home after getting a job.
That's cruel, Mom. When I got a job offer in New York, you secretly canceled my acceptance. You said you wouldn't allow me to leave home. How can you say these things after interfering like that?
That job wasn't good enough for you.
It was a great opportunity. You just didn't want me to leave.
You would have failed in New York anyway.
You never gave me the chance to try.
Shut up, you useless bookworm! You have been nothing but useless since you were little. Meanwhile, May has always been such a wonderful, caring daughter. Even after marriage, she worries about her parents. She even offered to live with us.
Of course May is nice to you and Dad. Unlike me, she was spoiled by you both since she was little. When you shower someone with love, they naturally become filial.
Are you saying we didn't love you?
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Well, we gave you the minimum love required. Even though you were an ugly, unfriendly bookworm who wasn't cute at all, we still raised you properly.
How can you say such things to your own daughter? And you call that giving love?
If you want more love, go find a job. That's all a bookworm like you is good for. And stop demanding money from us.
The money you borrowed from me.
There you go again with the borrowed money. Just stop it, okay? Or I'll kick you out of this house.
I wonder if you're in shock right now. How does it feel seeing an empty house?
I don't understand what's happening. What's going on? The locks are changed. I can't get in, and my belongings are outside.
Surprised? This is what happens to parasites.
At least let me get my things from inside.
All your stuff is already outside where it belongs. And actually, the house has been sold, so you can't live there anymore. If you can't find a job, you'll go from unemployed to homeless.
What? The house is sold? What about Mom and Dad? What will happen to them?
Don't pretend to care about them now.
Of course I care. Where are they supposed to live?
No need to worry. Mom and Dad will live with me and my husband from now on, so you're officially going to be homeless all by yourself.
What did you say?
Isn't it perfect? Everyone gets what they deserve.
When did you plan all this?
Everyone agreed to this. Well, everyone except you.
You had no right to sell the house without telling me.
We don't need permission from an unemployed person.
I'm a legal resident of that house.
Not anymore. Mom and Dad don't want to support someone unemployed anymore. And actually, the timing worked out perfectly because we just bought a house. Of course, it's a spacious two-family home, perfect for living together. It's what's best for everyone.
I didn't hear anything about this. About being kicked out so suddenly. About you living with Mom and Dad.
Why should we tell a parasite anything?
Stop calling me that.
Of course we didn't tell you. It was all to leave you behind. There's no place for you in our life together.
What?
This is what you get for being so selfish.
Selfish? How am I selfish?
Living off our parents while pretending to work?
I've never lived off them.
Who would want to live with someone unemployed? Go live alone and be miserable. An adult your age shouldn't be burdening their parents.
Listen, May, you've probably heard various things from Mom, but it's all a misunderstanding. I'm not unemployed. I'm working properly.
Still lying even now?
Why would I lie about this?
I don't want to hear excuses from an unemployed person, and I don't care anymore. To be honest, your unemployment worked out perfectly for us since we wanted to live with Mom and Dad anyway.
Oh, you actually wanted to live with Mom and Dad?
Yes, it's perfect for everyone.
Why exactly do you want to live with them?
To be honest, it's about finances. Property prices in this area keep rising, making it hard to buy a house. But if we live with Mom and Dad, they'll help us out financially.
And you just assumed they would help?
Of course they'll help. They always do. Plus, they can help with housework and childcare. It's killing two birds with one stone.
You criticized me for mooching off our parents, but aren't you just planning to do the same thing?
That's different. I'm their precious daughter.
How is it different?
Mom and Dad would be happier supporting their daughter and son-in-law than you. They've always loved me more than you anyway.
By the way, what are Mom and Dad actually saying about this? That they'll help with the 2-family home costs and housework?
Of course I haven't explicitly asked them about that.
Huh?
They'll understand without me saying anything.
So you haven't discussed any of this with them?
Well, since we're letting them live with us, adults should understand without being told. They've always spent lots of money on me, so I'm sure they'll help with the mortgage without me having to ask.
That's true. They did pay for almost everything for your wedding and honeymoon.
Exactly. They're always so generous with me. That's because unlike my unfriendly bookworm sister, I'm the lovable younger one. So anyway, good luck with being homeless. Everyone in the family has moved out now. Try to survive on your own, unemployed sister.
All right, goodbye.
Don't ever contact us again. We want to cut ties with an embarrassing, unemployed person like you.
How wonderful. Thank you. Then take good care of our parents who have 0 savings and are a complete burden.
Huh?
You heard me. I won't help with their care or anything else. As you wished, I'll cut ties, so you're in charge of everything regarding our parents.
Wait, what do you mean? Mom and Dad have 0 savings? That can't be right. They must have enough money to support an unemployed person like you. They even paid for all our wedding expenses.
What if I told you that I was actually the one who paid for all of that?
What? You're saying you paid for my wedding and honeymoon?
Yes, that's right. Remember those thick envelopes of cash Dad and Mom gave you? Actually, that was all money they took from me.
What?
Want to see the bank transfers?
Really?
Technically, it's supposed to be money I lent them, but it was basically taken from me by force. They said they had no money because they sent me to college, so I had to pay.
No, that can't be true.
That money they keep lending me, it's actually mine. They're repaying what they took. They're really selfish people, aren't they? In the end, they only paid for my first year of college. I had to take out student loans for the rest. They're only struggling with money because Mom skips her part-time work and Dad keeps making wasteful purchases.
Oh my God.
And they won't believe I'm working remotely. When I ask for them to return the money from back then, they play victim and cry to you about how their unemployed daughter is demanding pocket money. I'm just completely fed up with this.
Wait. So, you're really not unemployed?
I don't care what people who I'm cutting ties with think of me anymore. Anyway, I need to go look for an apartment. Goodbye. Take good care of Mom and Dad.
No, this isn't goodbye. Wait, sis!
What?
We invited Mom and Dad to live with us expecting financial support, but with 0 savings, this won't work. There's no benefit for us living together.
There is a benefit, isn't there? You saved our parents from their wicked daughter. That alone makes the living arrangement worthwhile.
No, that's totally meaningless.
But you sold the house, right? So you'll at least get some money from that.
Yeah, maybe, but that alone isn't enough. I thought they had way more savings than I imagined. They seemed so generous, even supporting an unemployed person for 6 months. I thought they must have substantial savings, but now you're telling me they have almost nothing?
You thought they had substantial savings, but they have nothing. Well, that's not my problem anymore since we're cutting ties.
Sarah, we'll sell you the house as a special favor. Buy it right now in cash.
What? Why me? I've already rented an apartment and I don't need a house. Can't you just let a real estate agent handle the sale?
How can you be so cold? This is your childhood home.
The home you just threw me out of?
You ungrateful child, after everything we've done.
Everything you've done?
We're offering you a chance to keep the house in the family.
Why suddenly care about that now?
The thing is, it won't sell, and that's why I'm telling you to buy it.
What?
Nobody wants to buy our beautiful home.
Have you had it properly assessed?
Well, for some reason, our house won't sell. We're offering it at a bargain price of $500,000, but no one will buy it, and the real estate agent keeps pestering us to lower the price.
What part of that is a bargain? That's an absolutely ridiculous price.
How dare you? This house is worth every penny.
Based on what?
What did you say?
The house is over 30 years old, and because you never maintained it properly, the roof and deck are falling apart. No one would buy such a house for $500,000.
But the location is good.
Only for elderly people because it's near a hospital.
That's a selling point.
Not for $500,000, it isn't.
Young people these days don't understand property value.
I understand it perfectly well. Plus, the schools are being consolidated due to declining enrollment. It's a 30-minute drive to the nearest station. Nobody these days would pay $500,000 for a rundown house in this location.
But you're not unemployed. You're doing remote work, right? If you're really working, you could buy it. Location shouldn't matter if you don't need to commute.
That's not the point.
You could work from anywhere.
I told you, I've already rented an apartment. I absolutely refuse to move from my dream luxury apartment back to that rundown house.
What? Luxury apartment? Sarah, you're living in such a nice place all by yourself?
Yes, and I love it.
How can you afford that?
I always wanted to live somewhere nice at least once. I planned to move out after getting a job, but you forced me to stay at home. I finally got to fulfill my dream.
How dare you waste money on luxury?
It's my money. I can spend it how I want.
That money should be going to my family.
Like the money you took for May's wedding.
You're so selfish. Think about your family.
Like how you thought about me when you threw my belongings outside.
That's different. We had no choice.
And I have no choice but to decline buying the house.
So you really won't buy it from us? I'll reduce the price to $300,000 now. Oh, please, please buy the house. We're in a really difficult situation.
Because your precious daughter is trying to get money from you for the two-family home. Still not interested.
How did you know about that?
May told me everything.
If you know the situation, then this should be easier. We thought we wouldn't have to pay anything for the loan or living expenses. But suddenly we're being told to pay $1,000 monthly, including living expenses. It's really hard for us, so please buy the house right now.
So May didn't tell you about the expenses beforehand?
She said we'd discuss it later.
And you agreed without knowing the details?
She's our precious daughter. We trust her.
Like how you trusted me about my job?
That's different.
I wouldn't want that house even for $3.
What?
Not interested at any price.
You're really not going to help us?
Nope. Well, anyway, enjoy living together. You must be happy living with your beloved younger daughter instead of your useless bookworm.
Take Mom and Dad back right now. There's no point in living together if they have no money.
I thought you wanted to cut ties with me.
This is different. This is an emergency.
Is it? Seems like exactly what you wanted.
How was I supposed to know they had no money?
You could have asked before making plans.
Sis, you're living in a luxury apartment, right? Take Mom and Dad there, quickly.
I refuse. Besides, if they have no money, why don't you make them work? They could do part-time jobs or something.
I've tried, but they just won't listen.
Sounds familiar.
That's the thing. They both refuse to work. They make excuses about not knowing the area and won't even do part-time work. Yet they demand money from us, saying they'll watch the kids during the day. They're demanding childcare fees from us.
Isn't that fair? They're providing a service.
But they're supposed to want to help.
Why don't you just pay them generously?
No way. This makes no sense. Why should we be the ones getting money taken from us?
Now you know how I felt all these years.
That's different.
Isn't this what you wanted? Living together as one big happy family?
Not like this. They expect us to pay for everything.
Don't say that. Just think of it as being filial. Look, since I'm cut off from the family, you're the only one who can take care of our parents now.
Well, that's bull. Don't use cutting ties as a convenient excuse.
Oh, but isn't that what cutting ties means?
You can't just abandon them like this.
Abandon? Like throwing someone's belongings outside?
That was different. We thought you were unemployed.
I'm not abandoning anyone. You chose this arrangement.
I didn't know they had no money.
You never asked. You just assumed.
Well, you should have told me.
Why? We're not family anymore, remember?
Shut up. I don't care about cutting ties anymore. Just give us money. If you won't take Mom and Dad back, at least help support them.
I should be the one saying that's bull. You told me never to contact you again, so I'm going to delete your contact info and our parents too. I'll make it physically impossible for you to ever contact me again.
What? Wait a minute. You're not planning to get away with this, are you?
Get away with what? Living my own life?
You can't just leave us with this mess.
Your mess, your problem.
My husband is furious. He says this isn't what we agreed to.
What exactly did you tell him?
That Mom and Dad would help with expenses.
Without asking them first?
Well, they always helped me before.
With my money.
You don't understand. This is ruining my marriage.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Please, just help us out. We're family.
Since I'm just a useless person who can only study, I don't think I'll ever be of any use to you at all. Well then, give my regards to Mom and Dad. Later, I found out that May had convinced her husband to agree to living together by saying, "My parents will help with the house payments." However, since our parents had almost no savings and couldn't sell the house, they couldn't help with the mortgage or even living expenses. Her husband exploded, saying, "This isn't what we agreed to!" And their marriage is now in crisis. If they divorce, both May and our parents would be kicked out. So our parents finally panicked and started doing part-time and temp work. Eventually, they ended up living separately in the two-family home, the husband and child in one unit, May and our parents in the other. May and our parents are now using almost all their salary for loan payments. Soon, they'll be receiving a letter from my lawyer demanding immediate repayment of all the money they borrowed from me. I'm really looking forward to seeing their reaction.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hi, Rachel. Do you have a second? Your brother and I have something to tell you. Hey, Katie, of course. What is it? Mark and I are having a baby. I'm 3 months pregnant now. What? Oh my gosh, congratulations. We better throw a baby shower soon then. Oh, we're fine, thank you. I'm sure we'd be better off planning and celebrating for ourselves than leaving it to you. I'm sorry, what? I didn't reach out to you just to let you know that I was pregnant. I actually had a very important favor to ask of you. Once the baby in my belly is born, I'd like to ask you to never show yourself in front of us again. I need to make sure that our child doesn't grow up seeing you as a role model. Are you serious? So you're suggesting that we stop being family? Yes. I'm never going to get to see the two of you or the baby. Exactly. I'm sorry, it's been very difficult being around a high school graduate lowlife myself. And it's even more out of the question to be forcing my own child to be around one. So I'll be maintaining a good distance with you from now on. Wow, just wow. And before you even ask, yes, Mark 100% agrees with this. You know, I would even go as far as to say that he was the one who came up with the whole idea in the first place. That we should distance ourselves from you since you're a high school graduate. I'm glad that the two of us have felt the same way about this matter. You two have always treated me like this. You know that I wanted to go to college too. I had no choice but to start work because that's what our family needed. The company that your parents were running went out of business, right? I've heard that you were all struggling to get by for a while. Our parents were able to find different jobs after that and worked for years. That's the only reason why Mark was able to go to college, unlike me. Are you still going to make fun of me while knowing all of that? I mean, I do feel bad for you, but then again, a high school graduate is a high school graduate, and that's that. Society won't take into account why your educational background is the way it is. Seriously. Through my educated eyes, you people are all the same. And it hurts my eyes when I have to watch you uneducated people make all of these excuses as to why you were unable to get a proper education. It really brings out your lack of dignity. Why is it that the worse the educational background, the more excuses people have? I would never make an excuse if I was in your shoes. So what you're trying to say is, regardless of what I say, the words that come out of my mouth are still those of a high school graduate, so you don't care. Whatever, I get what you're trying to tell me. If that's what you want, then I won't show myself in front of the two of you ever again after your child is born. I was scared that you wouldn't understand me, so I'm glad you do. I'll be headed then. Goodbye!
Rachel, guess what? I now live in an apartment in the middle of the city inside a skyscraper. I'm officially on top of the world.
Oh, wow, that's great. Did you two decide to move in preparation to welcome the child?
Yeah, I read that the location at which you live significantly affects the child's educational outcome. I mean, you can see that it's true from me and Katie. We both grew up in the city, and now we're both graduates from prestigious universities, and work at mega companies. I'm sure our child is going to turn out as bright as the two of us, so we better make sure their environment doesn't drag them down.
I agree. I think it's important for a parent to prioritize education. I've also read that the location the child grows up greatly affects their drive towards achieving well in school.
Exactly! I mean, it's common sense that if you live with idiots, then you'll become one yourself. And in order to avoid that from happening, Kitty and I are raising our child in the best and brightest environment that we could provide.
That's great. Your apartment must really be amazing.
Yeah, it's the type of place that someone with an educational background like you could only dream of. I've heard rumors of celebrities living there, and apparently, it even houses CEOs and managers from all kinds of big companies. That's why the school that's built nearby is one of the best in the state.
Wow, the rent must really be expensive.
Yeah, the room itself is also really luxurious too. It's pretty spacious and has a great view. Sorry to show off like this, but I'm sure you can live somewhere like this if you can go ahead and graduate from college. It probably isn't too late. In fact, I'll invite you over so you can take a look.
You're inviting me over. I thought you hated people who aren't graduated from a nice college. Why would you invite me to your house?
As you've heard from Katie, you'll never see her or me again once our child is born. So I thought it would be nice to have a chance to say our last goodbye. And also, you'll probably never get the chance again. So I thought it would be a kind act to let you come over. I'll even let you take pictures to hang on your wall once you go home.
You know what? I'd love to go. I'm genuinely curious to see what type of luxurious place you'll be living in, so thank you for inviting me.
Of course! As the French once said, noblesse oblige. Let us nobles be empathetic for the poor. You know, Katie and I's total annual income has just exceeded $200,000. It sounds like a dream even to me. I'll show you a view that you'll never be able to forget.
Hello, Rachel. Thank you for coming over today. I always thought that the poor people never had the time or mental space to be wasting their time. But I guess I was wrong. Thank you for making time for us in your busy schedule. Do you never get bored of making fun of me? And you have something to say to me before anything else, don't you? What the hell was that? Why would you throw coins at me when I was leaving? I mean, you brought some gifts with you as congratulations for moving in, didn't you? Well, I was raised to always give back for anything given. We're never seeing each other again, so I thought it would be a good idea to give back to you right there on the spot. Give back. Do you consider throwing coins at me as giving back to me? Oh my, do you not? I thought that the cheap-looking flowers in the vase that you brought today were worth a few dollars. If I'm giving back something of the same value, then I thought a few coins would fit for that. How could you say that? You know, I've always expected you to be poor, but I never expected you to be this poor. I mean, who brings that kind of obviously cheap thing as a gift for others? Those flowers that you gave me made me sure of my theory. People who aren't educated properly have no choice but to become poor. I'd like to thank you for making me reassure myself that I'll never make my children become like you. I chose my present myself just for the two of you. I heard that you two were moving into a nice apartment, so I thought some flowers and a nice vase would bring the whole interior together. That vase is an artwork that was made by a famous potter. I won't tell you the price because it's a gift, but it's a very nice gift and you should appreciate it. Whatever. You don't have to try so hard to make yourself seem like something that you're not. Through the educated eyes of my husband and I, we can obviously tell that this vase isn't worth anything more than a few dollars. Did you get it at Dollar Tree? Wait, let me guess. You just made it yourself so that you wouldn't have to spend money, didn't you? Seriously. However you got it, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry, but my husband and I have already thrown away the flowers and the vase that you bought today. I see that you chose it yourself, but it just emits some sort of poor, malicious energy that we couldn't take. There was no other choice. I'm sorry. How rude of you. All I wanted to do was congratulate you on beginning a new chapter, and this is what you do in return? I've already gotten used to you making fun of my educational background, but this is just purely heartless of you. I can't take this anymore. Well, then it's great timing, isn't it? We're never going to see each other again, so you can hate us all you want. You'll never have to see us again, and we'll never have to see you either. I mean, I hope so, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to see you again. What are you talking about? There's no way we're ever wasting another minute talking to you. We're officially strangers now, which means that you'll never be stepping foot in our house either. What a bummer. I'm glad that you at least got to see what a nice house meant for educated and rich people looks like. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I own this building. What? It's true that a lot of people who live here have great educational backgrounds, but it's not like I made that a rule as the owner. I don't care about where you came from as long as you're able to pay the rent. And I don't appreciate how you feel entitled enough to make the rules around here when I literally make them myself. I get that you're mad, but making obvious lies doesn't help your situation, honey. Whether you believe it or not, I own this building, and that's all there is to it. The room that you showed to me as if you owned the whole world, that room is mine, and you're paying me to live in it. If you don't believe me, come on over to the top floor. You'll see the whole floor is my house. The whole top floor? You two looked so dumb when you were telling me that I'd never live in such a nice place. Every cent that you spend to live here comes to me, for God's sake. Are you kidding? How is that possible? In what world would a high school graduate own a building like this? You're lying to feel better about yourself, aren't you? You can even look at the papers that you signed to finalize the moving in process. You'll see that the room is under my name. Really? I don't care what you want to believe, but if you're going to keep trying to believe that I'm lying, then take a look at it and then bother me. I'll be going then. I'm still furious at the two of you. The coins that you threw at me will be going to donation, by the way.
Rachel, answer the phone right now. How on earth did you end up owning a building like this? This is impossible.
Looks like you finally took a proper look at the papers. How did you not notice anything when you were signing them, for God's sakes?
Even if they had the same name as you, I never thought it would be you. I just thought you had the same name as the owner by coincidence. I mean, who would think that it's their high school graduate sister that owns this place? You're supposed to be a poor lowlife.
Yes, I would be a poor lowlife if I hadn't worked as hard as I did.
What?
No matter how much the two of you would harass me, I stayed focused on my work and brought myself to this position. After paying off our parents' debt, I earned countless certificates to qualify for all kinds of jobs. One of the many jobs that I'd experienced was caretaking. On that job, I ended up working as a caretaker for a wealthy madam who worked alone in her mansion.
At a mansion?
Yes, I got sent there by coincidence at first, but she really liked the way I did things. She ended up scouting me to work for her personally, so I left my company and worked as her personal caretaker.
What kind of fairy tale scenario is that?
I took very good care of her until she passed away years later. In the end, it turned out that she left all of her inheritance under my name.
And you're saying that this building was part of that inheritance?
Yes, this is one of the many buildings and apartments that she left behind for me.
What the hell? All you had to do was take care of some rich old lady for a few years and you got all of that? That's not supposed to happen in real life.
Well, it did, and now I'm the owner of the apartment that you live in. The madam told me that she had to struggle quite a bit when she was younger, and that she was the same as me, a high school graduate. Because of that, her marriage got canceled and she was harassed at her workplace for years. She said I reminded her of herself.
The old lady never went to college either?
Isn't it amazing? No matter what the odds or what anyone else said to her, she still kept working towards her goals. In the end, she became the queen of real estate in this area. I mean, she was rich enough to hire a personal caretaker, so that says a lot about her wealth. I earned tons and gained a lot of inspiration in the last few years that I was by her side.
But why on earth would you hide that all from me? Not even Mom or Dad know that you have this much wealth, do they?
Of course, Mom and Dad know everything about this. They were the first people that I told.
Really?
Yeah, I even suggested that they started living with me, but they said they're going to pass on the offer. That they were glad I was happy and that they want me to live my own life since they took so much away from me when I was young.
Then why didn't you tell me too?
Why did you think that I would even think about telling you? Do you not remember how many times you made fun of me for not having gone to college? I'm not bored enough to deal with you. Anyways, when are you planning to leave your apartment? I hope you're already beginning to pack your things up.
What do you mean? Why would we move out? We just moved here.
You wouldn't want to live in an apartment owned by a high school graduate, would you? I mean, solely judging by the way you and your wife persistently harassed me for years about my educational background, of course. Seems only logical that you move out to avoid paying such a person for living. Or do you plan on continuing to live in my apartment? Because if that's the case, then you probably won't be able to achieve your goal of never letting your baby see me. And besides, your pride as an elite probably couldn't handle the fact that someone below you is literally living on top of you, could you?
I don't believe this. I'm supposed to be the successful one out of the two of us. But even if it's below you, this room is still something that I worked hard to earn, and I paid tons of initial fees. I just can't move out right away. I even invited some friends to come check it out. I can't back out now.
Whatever, I don't care whether you keep living here or move out. As the owner of your room, the only thing I care about is that you pay me your rent. Well then, it's good doing business with you. Hey Rachel, I just had a quick question if you don't mind. Do you think you could give us a discount on the rent as the owner, or could you possibly move us to a higher floor for the same amount of rent? Is that even a real question? No, I won't allow either of those things. Come on, Rachel, aren't we sisters? I'm sure you could work something out for us. Please? How many personalities do you have? Do you think I'm just gonna forget about the evil stepsister that harassed me for years? I finally had an epiphany. It's just wrong and stupid to make fun of people for their educational background. You couldn't possibly measure a person's worth with such a superficial trait. I'll apologize for every single thing I've done and said that offended you, so let's start over as besties. Seriously. Yes, aren't you glad to finally have the loving little sister that you always wanted? We should go and have some tea together sometime. I'm pregnant, but I'm still doing well enough to go out on my own. If you're so bored, then why don't you just go get a proper job? I'm sure your college degree would get you a decent job. Maybe you'll finally be able to quit your part-time job. What? I hate to break it to you, but I know everything about you two. As the owner, I have the right to check your annual incomes. You two have been telling me that you're elites who work for mega companies. $200,000 a year. Why the hell would you lie about that? I know that you two only make $60,000 a year combined, and you only have a part-time job. How? Where did you find out? I found out when the two of you tried to move in. I heard that the real estate company declined the two of you because of your annual salaries, and that you two were making excuses that you'd just been fired recently, and that you'd been making $200,000 a year until last year. Mark promised that he would be promoted and would make as much as he used to right away, right? And that you'd get a proper job as soon as you could. How do you know the exact lines of our conversation? You even showed them your student IDs from college, right? Do you really think student IDs from years ago mean anything at all in the real world? How? The real estate agency contacted me right away. And I said you can move in since it's all up to me in the end. All because I cut you some slack as your older sister. Really? But what do you do in return? Try to negotiate prices and pay less. I don't think I've ever met anyone as greedy as you. If you have time to be negotiating prices with me, then why don't you find a job? As you promised, go ahead and show that you're an elite. Of course, that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. It's just that I'm pregnant right now. And I heard that Mark isn't doing too well at his workplace either. Look, I don't care about the reason why you two ended up getting fired from your previous jobs. But you better keep every single promise that you made at the office. If you even make one delayed payment, you're out. Isn't that a bit harsh? I think it's great that you two care enough about your child to move just to give them a good learning environment. But biting off more than you can chew is never a good idea. I heard the preschools around here cost tens of thousands per year, and that's just the beginning. Kids cost more and more as they get older. What? Preschools here cost that much? Did you not look up the living expenses around here before moving in? I mean, we just thought that the living in the city would be enough. Breathing the same air and seeing the same sights as smart people is important in raising a smart child, right? Living in a nice environment won't automatically make your kids smarter. Isn't that common sense? I think the two of you should have a nice, long talk about the future, compare your income with the living expenses around here, and come back to me with an answer. Because things won't always go your way just because you went to a nice university. I found out later on, but the reason that the two of them got fired from their jobs in the first place was simply because they were bad at what they did. They would go around harassing people who didn't go to nice schools like them, but wouldn't do much work either and ended up getting fired. After a conversation, the two properly compared their earnings with their expenses. Told me later that week that they would give up their dream apartment. After that, I heard that they moved into a cheaper apartment. Sometimes I receive texts from Katie asking me to support her child's educational fees, and that they want to make their kids get into the top schools in the nation. But I just send pictures of the view from my apartment in response.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.